Things got heated in court today as Daniel Lynn Lyman Jr., facing unpaid fines from past convictions, completely loses it in front of the judge. What started as a chance to resolve his case quickly turned into a courtroom meltdown that shocked everyone present. Lyman had been on diversion for a 2021 marijuana possession charge, but his diversion was later revoked after a driving while suspended offense. He owed $658 and hadn't made a single payment since November. The judge initially tried to be lenient, offering him options like paying smaller monthly amounts, serving a short jail term, or sending the debt to collections, but tensions quickly escalated. Claiming financial struggles from job changes and multiple bills, Lyman pleaded for a smaller payment plan. He expressed frustration with the Kansas justice system, saying he never got a break, and even compared his experience to Oklahoma, where he claimed he had never been in trouble. The courtroom atmosphere became explosive as Lyman started arguing, cussing at the judge, and openly stating he planned to move out of state and ignore court orders. His defiance left the judge no choice but to act, finding him in contempt of court and issuing a bench warrant. In the end, Lyman was taken into custody with no bond, and his probation could be revoked for violating the law and ignoring payments. This dramatic courtroom showdown serves as a stark reminder. In court, excuses won't save you, and actions always have consequences.
21 CR 274, State of Kansas versus Daniel Lynn Lyman Jr., the state appearing by and through Jared Regier, and the defendant in person and pro se. We have had a situation where you are supposed to pay November 28th, 2022. You did indicate you wanted to represent yourself without counsel and waived counsel on record. And you had been on diversion. You got another charge of driving while suspended. You ended up, it looks like, getting your diversion revoked, being found guilty at trial, sentenced, and you were supposed to have your case paid by today, February 6th. Now, what were you saying, sir?
The reason why I haven't had it paid yet is because the job that I was supposed to go for at American Eagle in Ottawa, it didn't plan out as planned. So I'm working at a motel over here in El Dorado.
Okay.
And it's just not bringing in as much money as it should. And I get paid twice a month. I have a lot of bills to pay, plus my court fines. I'm not trying to miss any of my court fines. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm trying to pay everything that I can at once. I was just going to ask you if I can start paying maybe between $20 and $50 a month. And my first payment I can put on this one is on the 8th of this month, guaranteed.
Well, you've always been allowed to make payments as long as you had it paid in full by your pay or appear date, i.e. today. So, now remind me, are you married or single?
I am single.
And remind me if you have children you support.
Right now I have a stepchild that I support.
Now you're single, but you have a stepchild that you support.
Yes, because I am in a relationship. I'm not married or anything. I'm in a relationship, but I support me, my fiance, and our child right now.
Well, I don't know why you're supporting these, why you've taken on new obligations when you haven't taken care of your old ones, such as paying your case. You owe, sir, $658.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
And you have not made any payments since November?
No, ma'am. I've barely been working. Like I said, I have this job and everything. I've been paying my bills and everything because I do have rent to pay. I have my phone bill. I have my SR22 insurance that I'm trying to pay, so that way I can also get my license back. I have my fines to pay. I have a lot of stuff to pay right now, honestly, and I'm just not trying to go to jail over all this.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to ask you if you thought it'd be easier just to go serve the 90 days in jail and send these costs to civil collections. Do you want to do that?
I don't, because it just messed everything up. Because I still have my Lyon County court case for my 2021 case back then when I had that case that I'm still trying to pay on.
What do you have going on in Lyon County?
I got it before this possession marijuana case. It was a duty of driver / no DL at the time. And They dropped the duty of driver down to a no DL, and I'm just having to pay on that of $377 as well.
So you had a car wreck
Yes, ma'am.
without insurance?
No, it was with insurance. It was with insurance.
Okay, and you didn't report it to law enforcement and they found out about it?
Yes, ma'am. It was my fault. I
Okay,
take
and
all
when did you do that?
That was in 2021,
Well,
almost 2 years ago.
this case was in 2021, June of 2021. When was your
And-
Lyon County?
It was after I got served papers when I was on house arrest in Lyon County. Because I had completed my house arrest and I was on house arrest when I got into the wreck. I didn't report it. I got in trouble. I got a ticket.
How were you on house arrest and driving at the same time? House arrest means jail.
House arrest, I was going to work and back, and I ended up getting in a wreck.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they gave you work release from your house arrest,
Yes, ma'am.
and on your way to or from, you had a wreck, and then you didn't
Yes,
report it.
and I failed to report it.
Well, okay. Well, I just kind of wanted an idea of what was going on over there. Have you paid anything on that case?
I've been slowly paying on it and everything. I try to make $10 payments. If I can't make it, I call them and let them know, and they told me just to pay it next month and everything. So I have owed $377. I've only paid $20 on their case so far too.
Well, how come they've gotten $20 and I haven't gotten anything?
I apologize. Like I said, I'm trying to pay everything all at once, and it's just all adding up on me. And I really don't want to go to jail over all this. I want to try to get it all paid. I know I'm not being very good at it right now, but I do apologize with everything I have, and
Okay.
my first payment I can make.
Hang on. And you were on house arrest and you got served with papers for possessing marijuana in another county. Is that what you told me?
Yes, because originally back in 21, if you can let me just start over real quick, I got pulled over in the state of Kansas and in Butler County area, and I had my warrants active for Lyon County and Butler County at the time. I ended up serving my 7 days in Butler County for the city court. They transferred me over to Butler County or Lyon County after I got stopped for my possession of marijuana. And that's how I got my possession of marijuana. They did not take me to jail over my possession of marijuana. They charged me for my warrants, took me to jail over them. I served my time in Butler and Lyon County jail, got out on house arrest. By the time I got out on house arrest, I was served my marijuana papers. I got diversion for those. I completed my house arrest, got off, and now I just been fighting my duty of driver/no driver's license over there. Been trying to pay that off. Then I got another one through you guys for the no driver's license back in July and everything. And I just been trying to pay all three of these tickets off and paying my rent, my phone bill, my SR22 insurance to get my license back. I'm trying it all, I'm trying hard as I can and best as I can.
Mr. Lyman, I'm going to modify your sentence.
And I'm trying to get out of trouble, I'm
going to put you on the remainder of your probation is going to, well, let me check. How long did we put him on probation for originally, Mr. Aguirre? It was 6 months non-reporting in November.
Your Honor, I'm showing in the journal entry non-reporting probation of 6 months following the court's order from the November 28th, 2022 hearing.
If he doesn't have this paid in full in 30 days, I'd like to do a motion. Bill, I'm going to put you on reporting probation.
I feel like this is really unfair on me because, I've had it really hard the past few years and I've been trying to get out of trouble. And, I may not be able to pay all my fines off right away, but I am trying. And I feel like this is unfair because I do not get a break. I've not had a break since I've been 16 years old with the justice system. This is truly unfair. In the state of Kansas, I always get in trouble. When I lived in Oklahoma for 3 years, I never got in trouble. I have not had one driving ticket, nothing in the state of Oklahoma. I come back to Kansas and I get in so much trouble and I don't even do anything. I drove once and got a ticket. And I just feel like this is unfair on me. Just because I can't pay a fine.
Okay, sir, I understood you to say you drove in Lyon County, and you wrecked and didn't report it. So there, you drove that day,
And that was
right?
my fault. Yes, and that was my fault. But in
And
the
then I
meantime,
understood that you drove in Butler County and after this case,
yes,
after
ma'am.
the marijuana
But,
case.
all
So
these
1
driving,
+ 1 = 2, Mr. Lyon. So you've driven at least twice illegally in Kansas.
yes, ma'am, I have. But that is because I have to go to work and back. How am I supposed to go to work and back while I'm trying to get my license without anyone offering me to give rides? I'm not trying to walk out of town. If I live in Leon, Kansas with my parents at the time, how am I supposed to get back and forth to work if they can't give me rides and I'm the only one with the vehicle, but they don't want to wake up to give me rides and I have to go to work to go pay my stuff? How is this all fair with me? Because people won't give me rides. I can't drive and stuff like that. Yes, I live in El Dorado now and I walk to my workplace and everything, but
Where do you work in El Dorado now?
I work at motels, the Motel
Okay,
6,
you told me that. And where do you live?
Silverwood Apartments.
Okay, so that's not too far from where you work.
No, ma'am. And that's why I said I walk now. I don't drive. I'm trying everything that I can. Right now I feel like everything is gathering up on me and I can't have a chance to do anything because I'm trying to get my life together. I promise you, I'm not trying to drive. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
Stop. Okay, you said you haven't been given a break. It looks like you were put on the deferred disposition docket, which means you were what, given diversion in this case initially?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you didn't comply with it. That was a break. If you'd done what you were supposed to, the charges would have been dismissed and kept off your record. So wasn't that a break? And you didn't comply with it, so you got that revoked. And then you were sentenced and given terms. I let you pick when you were going to pay this off, and you picked today. And then you didn't comply with that. I didn't have to give you probation when I sentenced you. Probation is a privilege. It's not a right. So that was a break. I didn't put you in jail, right? That's 2 breaks right here in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, you are correct.
And if I transfer you to reporting probation, that's still a break, and that's a 3rd break. So I really don't think you have any grounds to sit here and say, poor me, Kansas is too mean to me.
It is. It really is. If I had a choice, I would move out of Kansas right now and I would never
How can you say it's mean to you when we're giving you all these breaks and you won't quit violating the law?
I've been trying to stay out of trouble. I got in trouble driving and I was trying to drive home from work.
For this year, you've already gotten in trouble in 2023?
Or not this year. 2022 is what I'm talking about. Sorry, I forgot it's 2023 now. But yes, in 2022, I only got in trouble once. I had not been in trouble ever since all my old cases. I only got in trouble that once in 2022 for driving back in July.
We're not going to keep talking in circles here, and you're not going to convince me.
I'm going to just move out of state because I'm done. I'm done dealing with this. I'm moving out of state. I'm moving right now.
Well, no, not unless you have court authority in all your cases to move out. You're not. You're on probation.
You guys ain't coming to get me. I will move out of state.
I am transferring you to supervised probation, and you have 30 days to get this all paid. Call your probation officer this morning.
I'm not doing any of it. I'm moving out of state. I'm packing my stuff up right now.
You're telling me you're not going to comply with my orders?
Fine. Yes, I will. I will apply with your orders.
Oh, I am going to, where do you live?
Silverwood Apartments.
Silverwood Apartments in El Dorado. I am transferring your probation. You are to call the probation office. And you have 30 days to have this paid in full.
Or else I go to jail.
You either go to jail or you get your probation extended, whichever we decide to do. If you can show me you need more time to pay it, that you've made a good faith effort, I will certainly consider extending it, but you will be in violation of your probation and it'll either be extended or you'll get it revoked and go to jail, one or the other. Because
this is really, really stupid.
Because you have, as I understand it, Mr. Regier, he has violated the law since he was put on this probation in November. And if that is correct, that's a violation of his probation. I understood him to say he got a driving while suspended. Is that right, Mr. Lyman?
Yes, Your Honor. Because of your stupid ass motherfucking state of Kansas.
Okay, you've just been found in contempt of court.
You know what? I can do fucking less. Fuck you. I'm moving out of
All
state.
right, you are in contempt of court. You have now failed to appear. We need a bench warrant for his failure to appear today for failing to come to court. He's in contempt for his language, and we will deal with that at the next hearing, but please do a bench warrant as soon as possible, Mr. Regier, for his failure to come to leave court.
Your Honor, as far as the bench warrant is concerned, is the court ordering a specific amount towards bond?
No bond. Hold until he sees me. If we can get him back on this morning's docket, that'd be great. If you have staff that can prepare that warrant this morning and put it in my queue, I'll be happy to sign that as soon as it's there, and we'll get him picked up this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. And is the court's prior orders regarding the case be paid in full within 30 days, as well as the defendant being put on non-reporting probation and the defendant to contact?
The courtroom was tense from the moment Daniel Lynn Lyman Jr. stepped inside. He was there for unpaid fines from previous convictions, but what unfolded was far from a routine hearing. Lyman, representing himself, faced a judge who initially tried to offer him options, yet the session quickly escalated into a dramatic confrontation. The tension in the room reflected the clash between someone who refused to follow the rules and a legal system determined to enforce them. Lyman's legal troubles began with a 2021 marijuana possession case. He was placed on diversion, which was meant to give him a second chance to avoid a formal conviction if he complied with certain requirements. Diversion is designed for individuals to demonstrate responsibility and reform, but Lyman's path took a turn when he was later charged with driving while his license was suspended. That violation led to his diversion being revoked and left him with $658 in unpaid fines. These fines had not been addressed since November, and the court expected compliance. The judge, recognizing the financial and personal challenges that Lyman presented, initially tried to approach the situation with leniency. Options were offered. He could pay the fines in smaller monthly installments, serve a short jail term, or have the debt sent to civil collections. The intention was clear: give Lyman a chance to satisfy the legal requirements while considering his circumstances. Yet, instead of cooperating, Lyman's frustration and defiance surfaced immediately. He explained that he was experiencing financial hardship, citing job changes and mounting bills as obstacles to full payment. He pleaded for the opportunity to pay less each month, trying to appeal to the judge's sense of understanding. Lyman expressed deep frustration with the Kansas justice system, insisting that it had been unfair to him, and claimed that he had never received a break. In an attempt to contrast his situation, he brought up Oklahoma, claiming that he had lived there without ever encountering legal trouble. Despite the judge's repeated efforts to accommodate him, Lyman's attitude grew increasingly combative. His tone shifted from frustrated to confrontational. He began speaking over the judge, questioning the fairness of the proceedings, and repeatedly insisting that he would not comply with the court's requirements. Cursing and threats followed, as he openly declared his intention to move out of state and ignore future court orders. The courtroom atmosphere became charged. Every attempt at calm and reason by the judge was met with resistance, argument, and further defiance. Lyman's insistence on challenging the process turned a session that could have been resolved into a volatile situation. He refused to accept responsibility, undermined the court's authority, and escalated the tension with every statement he made. Eventually, the judge had no choice but to respond decisively. Lyman's repeated disrespect, refusal to comply, and threatening language led to a finding of contempt of court. A bench warrant was issued immediately, emphasizing that the court would not tolerate verbal abuse, defiance, or attempts to evade legal obligations. The consequences were swift. Lyman was taken into custody without bond, facing the real possibility that his probation could be revoked entirely for violating the law and failing to pay his fines. This case is a powerful example of the balance the justice system must maintain. Judges strive to enforce the law while considering individual circumstances, offering opportunities for resolution and compliance. Yet, when those opportunities are met with defiance and refusal, the system acts quickly to uphold order and accountability. Lyman's courtroom meltdown demonstrates the limits of patience, leniency, and understanding. The progression of events shows more than just one man's frustration, it illustrates the importance of responsibility in the legal system. Financial hardship or personal challenges may explain circumstances, but they cannot exempt someone from compliance. The courtroom, in this case, served as a stage where the real consequences of actions, or inactions, were made clear. The audience watching could see that repeated excuses, threats, and failure to cooperate would inevitably lead to serious repercussions. Throughout the hearing, Lyman's behavior escalated. Each interruption, argument, and expression of contempt made the consequences more severe. The judge's patience, though tested, remained evident. Options were provided, explanations were given, and opportunities to comply were offered. Still, Lyman's refusal to take responsibility transformed the session from a procedural matter into a dramatic lesson in accountability. This scenario underscores the challenges of self-representation in court. Representing oneself requires understanding not only the law but also courtroom etiquette and procedure. Lyman's inability, or unwillingness, to follow these norms contributed to the escalation. The courtroom became a place where frustration collided with authority, and the legal system asserted itself to maintain order. Ultimately, the case serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of ignoring the law. Lyman's $658 in unpaid fines might have seemed minor, but his repeated defiance turned a manageable situation into one with potentially severe legal repercussions. Contempt charges, bench warrants, and possible probation revocation are reminders that in the eyes of the law, excuses do not override responsibility. For viewer, this courtroom confrontation offers an unfiltered look at how quickly tensions can rise when a defendant challenges the authority of the court. The patience of judges, the structure of legal proceedings, and the reality of enforcement all become clear in a situation like this. Lyman's frustration, arguments, and threats were met with the unwavering response of the legal system, highlighting that rules exist for a reason and that defiance can escalate consequences dramatically. Watching this unfold is both a cautionary tale and a compelling look at human behavior under pressure. It shows that even when the law offers second chances, leniency, or flexibility, the ultimate responsibility lies with the individual. Lyman's choices in the courtroom created a chain of events that resulted in immediate legal consequences, demonstrating that the justice system does not operate on intent alone but on action and compliance. This dramatic courtroom session reminds us that law, accountability, and consequences are intertwined. Excuses can only carry someone so far, and defiance has limits. Lyman's courtroom meltdown illustrates the tension between personal frustration and the demands of justice, making it clear that the legal system enforces rules consistently, regardless of circumstance. It's a story of escalation, patience, confrontation, and ultimate accountability. Lyman's actions, from financial excuses to outright defiance, led to contempt of court, a bench warrant, and possible probation revocation. The courtroom became a powerful reminder that in legal matters, cooperation, respect, and compliance are not optional, they are essential. This case is not just a viral moment, it's a lesson in responsibility, consequences, and the balance of justice. The courtroom showed the limits of leniency, the importance of following orders, and the repercussions of ignoring the law. It stands as an unfiltered, real-world example of what happens when someone refuses to take responsibility for their actions and challenges the authority of the court.